geek, you know that one of his favorite data sets on healthdata.gov is FDA recall data. And it's actually a pretty massive repository of information, and it's extremely important because this is real-time information that's being given out to you based on, drugs and pet food and bananas and spinach and over-the-counter drugs and medical devices as soon as something bad happens to them. And actually what our next app has done has managed to synchronize that information and give it to you in real time through a subscription-based service. And it's actually pretty exciting. This person won the Health 2.0 Hokie Codeathon, which was pretty cool, in Virginia Tech. And I'm pleased to announce Hussein Ahmed, my apologies. He created a great app called HeyRecall. So let's bring him to the stage.
Hi everyone. Just like introduce yourself, it's like my name is Hussein Ahmed. I built the app which is called the HeyRecall. So the idea is it's based on the FDA data. So the problem with FDA data is for example, if you're interested in something being recalled, for example, like drugs or food, you have to go to the FDA website and search for this data. Also, there's another app by the government. It's named recalls.org. Based on the same also problems, like you have to go there and search for something that it might have been recalled, something like this. So the idea of HeyRecall was to make it the other way around. So if you have a child, for example, who is allergic to gluten or wheat, something like this, you can just say that I'm really interested to know if something got recalled that's being affected or concerned about gluten or wheat, something like this. So with HeyRecall, actually. So that's actually the website. It launched live just last Saturday in the Virginia State Convention. So it's live up now, HeyRecall.org. So basically when you go to the website, it's you can set your alerts. With alerts, you can define your concerns. For example, I have here eggs, salmonella, and wheat. You can add something else we can say gluten, for example. You can subscribe to brands. For example, like Kellogg's, Whole Foods, for example. What will happen now is we keep synchronizing with FDA.gov, so we keep pulling data from FDA. The problem actually, there's another problem with the data. It's the data is not structured and not cleaned. So what we do actually in HeyRecall is once we pull the data, we start cleaning the data and applying some natural language processing techniques. For example, you can get a recall that says it's by Kroger or by Kroger Corporation or by Kroger Corp. So all these recalls should be matched to the profile of someone who's saying that I'm interested in anything recalled by Kroger. So there's a part of natural language processing that's being done that normalizes these words and companies and problems like gluten, wheat, and all this stuff. So everything is normalized in a way that it would assure the best matching between the FDA data and what's the profiles of the users. So and then after that, we go through the users list and then try to match the profile of a user. For example, like someone who has a child who is allergic to gluten, and there's something has been declared as undeclared gluten, for example, and has been recalled by Whole Foods or Walmart or like this. So he will get an SMS and email instantly saying that please take care that something that contains undeclared gluten has been recalled by FDA. And here's the link to the details. And this will take him to the FDA.gov website with all the details of the picture of the product, why it has been recalled, where it has been recalled, and what's the action to do. It's like return it, keep it, get rid of it, and something like this. So actually, it's like you can subscribe by concern or by product, by brand, as we said, it's like, or by company, even a company. So for example, like if I'm just like a Walgreens fan or something like this, so I keep all my shopping at Walgreens. So this means like once there is any recall that's being developed by Walgreens or sold by Walgreens under the Walgreens name, I'll get a notification by SMS on my cell phone and an email saying, please take care that something by Walgreens has been recalled. Another thing also is like the recalls list here. So once we pull the data from FDA, after the cleaning is happening, it's like all this stuff. So you get like a cleaned list of the recalls, which is much more structured than you can search for on the FDA.gov website. So this actually like will be the data, so you can filter by brand, by recall, by description, by company. Search, for example, like Walmart. So this is not, and actually it's like the link it will just like go to the FDA website. for that exact recall. So HeyRecall actually was built in 24 hours for the health codathon. Actually, Matthew here flew all the way from West Coast to East Coast to for the competition, and Anish Chopra was there, the former CTO of the USA. So actually, it's HeyRecall won the grand prize for the codathon, and actually I wasn't planning to make it a company or a product into this, but actually it's with how it's how I really feel that it can make an impact on people, and it can be really useful instead of just going searching for something that might have been recalled and keep refreshing the page or whatever it's you've been doing to keep to make sure that you are getting any recalls of interest to you. So so with that impact, the plan is to keep the website up and running, and it's free for anyone to use. So but hopefully FDA would not cut off the data for us or something. So if there are any questions, you're welcome.
So I don't have a question, but I have to tell the story of how you participate,
sure.
Because so the Herky Hackathon right by Virginia Tech, really Blacksburg, Virginia is a great sort of focus, and Bryn and her team have come down, and so my recollection is that at about we have a bunch of presentations in the afternoon, and around about 6 to 7 o'clock, people are figuring out which teams to be on. And about 10 o'clock, somebody comes to me and says, there's this one guy, and he hasn't got a team, and he's talked to some people, hasn't really fit in, and someone gave him an idea, and I think he's going to do something on his own, right? And then it was like 10 o'clock, and then it wasn't 24 hours, it was more by about 3 o'clock the next afternoon, we had the judging, and Hussein comes up on his own. And in fact, there was a long conference, to be honest, between the two teams in this room, the private practice folks and Hussein, with Anish, me, and a couple of the other judges debating about who should win. But it was a really, we were just blown away by what you did in that short piece of time. And also, you also added a fair amount to it since then, I can see, with the new front end you put on it. And it's really a really tremendous, so I just say tremendous achievement. So the only question for you is, what do you think the business for doing, it's a great service you created already. What do you think the business behind that could be?
Actually, for now, it's I would see it's the advantage of someone paying subscription fee or something like this, to make sure that this service will be running. But there's the good part of the good karma part of it. So what we think is just to launch based on donation for now, and then maybe down the road it's as we obviously it's there will be more expenses. For example, sending each SMS message will cost you for each one of them is something to pay for. For example, it's back now by Twilio. So for we can have a freemium model based then, which will be part of this mostly free, and then just the more bells and whistles which will basically pay for for the expenses of running the website and the hosting, so and pay the Amazon bills. So so maybe that would be part of paying back the bills of running the website. But for now it's it's open for everyone, it's free, and there's no any payment any fees or something like this.
Questions?
Thank you all. Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.